On Thursday, the 1st of October 1998, Sky Digital was born, and a report was featured on Sky News that morning. Many people chose to get Sky Digital. Sky boxes, mini dish, and a remote control costed £159.99 at the time when it launched. A new viewing card was released in the summer of 1999, and the Analogue Customer magazine was released in the autumn. Soon, Sky Digital became popular, and in February 2000, 15 months after the launch, no new subscriptions were allowed to the service, and no new channels were launched onto TiVo. In early February 2000, Film 4, Sky Box Office Movies, Granada Breeze, and .tv will be removed from the Analogue service. And so it happened. At the end of March 2000, Film 4 went off the air before 12:30, with information about it being exclusive to digital only. Here's how he explained what happened.
Important announcement for Analogue Satellite customers only. As of 6 a.m. on the 31st of March 2000, Film 4 will no longer be transmitting through Analogue Satellite. This will not affect cable TV customers. As most Analogue Satellite customers have now moved to the digital satellite service, Film 4 has decided to focus on continually improving its digital services. We understand that this may be a disappointment to Analogue Satellite subscribers and apologize for any inconvenience. However, Analogue Satellite customers can continue to subscribe to Film 4 through the Sky Digital service. To receive Sky Digital, you'll need to replace your current Dish and Box with a new digital Dish and Box, which is free with Sky's offer. All you'll pay for is the £40 standard installation cost. Call now on 08705 800 870 for more information, or to order your free Dish and Box. Sky will arrange a convenient time to come and install it for you. Cable TV customers are not affected and do not need to change their cable equipment.
After the message at around 12:25, Astra cut in and put up the colour bars. The next channels to switch off their services was Police.tv and Sky Box Office Movies. Events didn't switch off their transponder until summer 2000. Granada Breeze ran as usual during the day, closing down at 6, followed by the satellite.tv. The day before, .tv explained the
Hello and welcome to .tv. Coming up next, the brand new episode of Buyer's Guide. Be sure to remember that as of tomorrow, .tv will be exclusive to digital only. For further details, simply visit the .tv website at www.tvchannel.co.uk.
The next day, Granada Breeze ran during the day as usual, doing the usual Closedown procedure at 6, followed by the .tv startup, and at 8 o'clock it handed over Sky Box Office tour for the final time, and at midnight, during the promo for the film, Astra showed their colours.
Welcome to
.tv. Time to enjoy brand new episodes of The Essentials, starting with Buyer's Guide next, followed by Masterclass, Chips with Everything, Global Village, and Nexus.
The next day at 6 p.m, Sky Box Office 3 just went into a film, which was rated 18, and the movie was shown outside its normal watershed at its normal time, and required a pin, which usual Sky Box Office films required a pin to watch the films. And afterwards, Astra cut in and showed the colour bars before the film started. Sky logo appeared the next morning with Sky Cinema 1972.
The following movie is rated 18 and contains strong language and violent scenes.
This movie is being shown outside its normal watershed and requires a pin.
After 8:30 in the morning, Sky Box Office 2 is at the end of Sky Digital.
And finding a table can be but there are compensations. Bill Paxton, Charlize Theron, and Mighty Joe Young now showing on Sky Box Office.
The same thing might have happened to Sky Box Office. However, it might have been the same with the other Sky Box Office channels. but the test card appeared to be able to sun in Analogue service.
And I certainly won't use the ground as an excuse for her if she gets beat.
Moving on to summer 2000. It is unknown what happened to those channels, but I guess is that Sky Travel ran as usual during the day and Rapture TV overtook at 4 PM and lasted till midnight when the transponder was switched off. Now my guess might have been the colour bars might have been shown, or the Sky test card might have been shown. I don't know what happened to those channels, but my guess is that the colour bars came on at around midnight, and probably when I think Rapture TV would have been on before midnight, so as Sky Travel used to timeshare with Sky Cinema. Anyway, moving on now. The next channel to get pulled from the Analogue service was Nick Jr., Nickelodeon's channel for preschoolers. This channel timeshared with Sky Sports 3 from 6 AM to 12 PM and 12 PM to 12 midnight, 10 AM to 12 AM at weekends. Nickelodeon originally aired this block during the daytime hours along with its CBBC block, which ran from 1996 to 1999. However, I'm thinking Astra might have put up their colour bars at 12 o'clock when the channel was switched off for the final time. Sky Sports 3, however, on the other hand, continued on Analogue till 2001, which we're going to come to later. Moving on to one of the sports channels next, the Racing Channel. One of the sports channels now, the Racing Channel, which was on the air on Analogue since 1995. This channel timeshared with Sky Box Office 2 until the channel closed back in April 2000. The channel finished at, my guess is probably approximately 8 PM when the transponder was switched off for the final time. A rather easy one for you now, Sky Cinema. Left at midnight on the dot, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and switched off a transponder when the colour bars were shown. The adult channel ran for the final time in the early hours of the 31st of August 2000, and the Sky test card was put in its place, same as Sky Box Office 2 back in April 2000. Sky Box Office events now. In the first round of closures, the movie channels were removed, now the sports and events channel. There was an opt-out from one of the Sky Sports channels, usually Sky Sports 3. We don't think the channel was in operation at the time of Closedown, so the last pay-per-view event broadcast on Analogue was Tyson vs Sacco, Southern Race, or whatever you pronounce it that way, broadcast on the 24th of June 2000. So we really don't know when the channel was actually closed down after that event, but my guess is probably around July. Moving on to after Christmas 2000 now, these three channels used to share a transponder. Granada Plus, 6 AM to 11 PM, Granada Men and Motors, 11 PM to 2 AM, and Shop America, 2 AM to 6 AM. In the early hours of the 31st of January 2001, Shop America was shut off at 6 AM. Granada Plus ran as usual during the day, and Granada Men and Motors overtook at 11 PM and ran for 1 hour only before the transponder was switched off at midnight. This channel used to share timeshare with Sky Cinema until the channel closed in summer 2000. TV Shop was a filler channel and the other channels closed down for midnight. It was following the early hours of the 31st of January 2001 when the channel was aired for the final time. UK Gold had its own channel around this time. UK Horizons had both UK Play, both shared transponder with
From 1969 to the present day, we're charting the rise of the IRA and Sinn Féin now in UK Horizons. The people who were there tell the story of the Provos.
UK Gold and UK Play both had their transponders shut down at midnight. UK Horizons shared a transponder with UK Play, God, and TVX. Horizons switched over to Play for the final time during the evening. Then at midnight, Play switched over to TVX for the final time. Discovery also decided to pull off all of their service from Analogue service as well. Home and Leisure used to share a transponder with Discovery Channel. At 4 PM that afternoon, Home and Leisure switched over to Discovery for the final time, and at midnight, Discovery's transponder was switched off. Discovery's Animal Planet is grouped separately from Discovery's other services because this channel was the channel in this round of closures, and also the first channel ever not to even have its transponder switched off or to display an Astra card. At midnight, this channel changed to Sky's Analogue service closed card, as was broadcast for a few days until the transponder was switched off. its text service was still online during this time. These three channels all used to share a transponder. TV Trouble Shop ran during the day, allegedly at timeshare with Challenge TV, changing over to the History Channel late afternoon. At 8 PM, Sci-Fi Channel took over from History and ran until midnight. In the olden days, then it would change over to the Adult Channel. Yes, there were 4 channels actually sharing the same transponder. This one was quite packed, but as that service had already closed by this point, a Sky Test card was broadcast instead. On this occasion, when Sci-Fi closed, a transponder was switched off. And now, we're going to move on to Bravo, Trouble, Fox Kids and Challenge TV next. Bravo and Trouble also share the transponder around this time as well, with Trouble operating during the day and changing over to Bravo in the early evening. Trouble changed to Bravo for the final time at around 8 o'clock that evening, and Bravo ran till midnight when the transponder was switched off. Around the same time, Fox Kids and Challenge also shared the transponder. Fox Kids running during the day and Challenge TV in the evening. Fox Kids switched over to Challenge TV around 7 o'clock for the final time that evening, and Challenge ran till midnight when the transponder was switched off. Well, here's a story to tell for this one. Living had its own transponder. Tiny Living ran from 7 AM to 10 AM as usual, handing over to Living before midnight, making this a much more simple story to tell. It ran till midnight when the transponder was switched off. Nickelodeon and Paramount Comedy Channel used to share transponders, with Nickelodeon switching over to Paramount at 7 instead of finishing at 4 AM. Paramount's transponder was switched off at midnight, same with VH1.
You're watching VH1.
This was the second channel to be replaced with a different channel, the first being MTV UK, and the English version of TV Trouble Shop was replaced with the German version on the 1st of October, June 2001. These two channels used to timeshare. Turner Entertainment, the owner of both of these channels, which shared a single transponder in the Analogue service. Cartoon Network ran from midnight to 8 PM, and TCM ran from 8 PM to midnight. Took that as a meaning that the final day's transmission was on 29th of June, and so they closed down the day before all the other services at midnight on 30th of June. And so at midnight on the 30th of June, when TCM's transmissions ended, instead of switching back to Cartoon Network, a particularly hard to read information caption appeared and continued to be broadcast until the afternoon of the 2nd July, when the transponder was switched off. The other non-Sky channel to leave in this round of closures was QVC UK. This channel was also the only one which really went I.E. The transponder was closed down as well. All the other channels were broadcasting an information card after the channel went, and most of them still had their teletext services online once the card was there, until the transponder was switched off. However, in the run-up to the close down, QVC had 2 separate feeds for the analogue and digital broadcasts of the channel. While the digital feed carried no mention of the analogue close down, the analogue feed had a caption scrolling across the screen about every 10 minutes or so explaining about the closure. And on the 30th of June itself, they kept cutting into the programming and replacing it with an analogue-only product. You could get a Sky Digital installation for £1 if you were a Sky Digital analogue customer. This was the final product to be sold on the analogue version of QVC. The full text of this is QVC Newsflash. Our transmissions on this channel will be ending on June 30th. QVC will continue to broadcast on Sky Digital Channel 630 and on cable. For details of how this affects you, see QVC text page 123 or visit our website www.qvcuk.com. Cable customers for Telewest, Intel and Eurobell will not be affected by this close down. I don't have the text page to that, but anyway, we're moving on now. Private Blue used to share a channel with Sky Sports 3. Being a porn channel, it does not start till midnight, and so its final broadcast was in the early hours of the 30th of June, at which point it was switched over to Sky Sports 3 for the final time. Moving on to one of the movie channels now, Sky Movie Max. All of the Sky services closed down on this round of channel closures broadcast, and Analogue service closed information card for a while afterwards. But these two channels showed an image there different than they were still encrypted. If you took your viewing out, the picture went, or if you weren't subscribed to them, you got quoted the phone number to ring to add them to your subscription. On the 1st of July 2001, the video crypt ID was still in broadcast as well, shown below. Although by the 2nd of July it was removed, but the encryption was still there. The text services for both channels remained online until the transponder was switched off in the morning of the 3rd of July. Welcome back to the second part of our Sky Analogue Closedown story. Earlier on in the programme we looked at some of the close down of the channels as well, and speaking of which, we're moving on now to Sky Sports 1, which automatically closed down in the next final couple of rounds. This is Sky Sports 1. It closed down just in the early hours of the 30th of June 2001 at approximately midnight, and was only the third channel in all the channel closures to be instantly replaced with another channel. It was replaced with Sky Sports 2, even though Sky Sports 2 ended in the final round of closures, which we're going to come to at the end. Sky Sports 2 the old Sky Sports 2 frequency broadcast information card, informing viewers the change shown below. Sky Sports 2 text service was broadcast on both the old and new frequencies for a few hours after the move. However, the next channel was Sky News. Sky News left a few seconds short on midnight and was replaced with Sky's standard Analogue closed card. Sky Sport 3 left at the same time, but instead of switching over to Private Blue, the same closed service card appeared. However, its text service remained online until the transponder was switched off. Along with all of the Sky closures, the transponders for these channels were switched off in the morning of the 3rd of July. And so this is it, the moment Sky has ever been building to since February 2000, the complete closure of Sky Analogue. By this point, the only Sky channels left were Sky 1, Sky Premier and Sky Sports 2. CNBC was previously a Sky channel as it sometimes became unencrypted and required a Sky subscription, but shortly before these channel removals occurred, this part-time encryption ended as its status as a Sky channel ended. According to Sky, less than 100 subscribers were lost when the Analogue service was closed, although there were still potentially thousands of active viewing cards still around. Although the Analogue service was supposed to continue till 30th of September, and the transponders remained online until the early hours of the 1st of October, the service was pulled a few days early and left on the 27th of September. Actually midnight the 28th, if you want to be pedantic. So for the 8th and final time, let's look at how these channels left. At midnight, the Sky 1 signal was unencrypted and the picture replaced with Sky's Analogue service closed card. The text service remained online for a certain period of time. For some unknown reason, the audio was not replaced with the usual music, or instead the audio from Sky 1 was still being carried and continued to be until the transponder was turned off. Moving on now, Sky Premier. This channel also left at midnight at the same time as Sky 1. As with Sky Movie Max and the Disney Channel, when Sky Premier was cut, the signal was still encrypted and the text service was still active. Underneath the encryption, the usual service closed card and music was played until the early hours of the 1st of October when the transponder was switched off. As you can see there in the screen, there's two images of the unencryption of Sky Premier. And so, to conclude the story of the closure of Sky Analogue, the final channel to leave was Sky Sports 2. As with all the other Analogue channels in the final round of closures, Sky Sports 2 left at midnight on the dot. This channel followed the usual Sky closure procedure. I was the only one to do it, of unencrypt. The Suede service closed card, heard music, the text service was still active, although the transponder was switched off in the early hours of the 1st of October. And so that's it. But there's plenty of other stuff to enjoy in Sky Digital, including the personal planner. You can buy box office online. Broadcasting hours are extended on the channels instead of being on Sky Analogue. So why not buy Sky Digital today, and then you can enjoy thousands of watching hours when you want. And you can watch movies whenever you want, watch sports, watch documentaries, watch children's programs anytime you want. So for more information, please read using your Sky Digibox booklet or the Sky Customer magazine which came with your equipment. But for now, it's goodbye.